13 nominations for Emilia Perez, no original score for challengers, and Denis Villeneuve snubbed again for Best Director for Dune Part 2. The Academy Award nominations were announced today, and shockingly, there hasn't been a single hot take on the internet about it. Welcome back to Movies Good Internet Bad. I'm Cory. That's Shane. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you like movies and TV shows. And Shane, let's dive into this. We're going to cover the big six today. So we've got supporting actor, supporting actress, lead actor, lead actress, best director, and best picture. Are you ready?
I am. Let's do it.
Are you excited?
Always. Award
Perfect.
season's so fun. I love it. Even if it's the worst takes on the internet, everyone gets so up in arms about all this stuff. It's a fun time to be a film lover.
That's what I'm saying, man. Our channel is called Movies Good Internet Bad. This is like the celebration of all the worst hot takes you get all year. So let's start with actor in a supporting role. So the nominees for this category are Yura Borisov for Anora, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain, Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce for The Brutalist, and Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice. So what do you think? The Academy get it right here?
I have no issues with any of those, although I have not seen A Complete Unknown yet, and so Edward Norton getting it in over Sebastian Stan or actually he would be lead actor, right? In A Different Man.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, I think they got this one right. I think it's gonna be another Roman Roy beats Kendall Roy situation.
I don't know. Have you seen The Apprentice?
No, I haven't.
Man,
Jeremy Strong really good. He's really good in everything, man.
Yeah.
Like everything he's in, he's just like a standout. So
yeah, I think he puts his body and mental health through like complete hell to play some of the roles that he plays. But yeah, he's real good. I think like you said, the Academy mostly got it right here. I would have maybe liked to see Clarence Macklin get in from Sing Sing as a supporting performance. But I kind of feel like A24 dropped the ball on that. We can talk about that.
Yeah, I feel like they were pushing The Brutalist, and so they didn't get enough Sing Sing love. And we'll talk about that as we go up the nominations too.
Yep, absolutely. But I think Kieran Culkin seems like a lock for this category. So let's go to actress in a supporting role. We've got Monica Barbaro for A Complete Unknown. There's a trend here that A Complete Unknown did much better than I thought it was going to. The Expected, Ariana Grande for Wicked, Felicity Jones for The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini for Conclave, and Zoe Saldana for Emilia Perez, one of the 13 nominations, second most in history for that film. What are your thoughts here? Any surprises for you, or is this kind of straightforward?
No real surprises. I hate to see Zoe Saldana in the supporting role category because she's in the movie so much.
Yeah.
But it's politics, you know. I don't think that the requirements are strict enough for what constitutes supporting for this type of category, because really she should be competing in lead.
Yeah, I think mathematically, if you go by the minutes, she's in that movie more than anyone else. So technically she would be the lead performance, but whatever.
Right. And I feel like it's kind of unfair to the other actors who are, you know, in the movie for not nearly as much.
Oh, like say Isabella Rossellini?
In the movie for 10 minutes. Yeah. And she's awesome in it, but like that's a true supporting role. Like that's the type of role that I think the Academy should be pointing this award towards, not somebody who's leading the movie.
Sure. Who do you think is going to win this one?
Zoe Saldana.
Yeah, you don't think Ariana Grande is going to take it?
She could. And I thought she was excellent. She was really, really good in Wicked. But I think Emilia Perez has this strange momentum that I cannot wrap my head around, and it feels like it's a snowball that you can't stop. It's going downhill.
I feel like we're ripe to do a solid review of that movie here on the
I think so. That'll be a good one.
Maybe next week. Maybe we'll get in there. I personally think it's Ariana Grande's to lose.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah, Zoe Saldana is very good in Emilia Perez. But I think the fact that she's more of a lead performance might possibly hurt her here in the eyes of the voters. Okay. I don't know, but I thought Ariana Grande was a better supporting character than Zoe Saldana was. So
got it.
Let's go to actor in a leading role. So the nominees here, we've got Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, Timothy, as Adam Sandler would say, Chalamet for A Complete Unknown, Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, Ray Fiennes for Conclave, and Sebastian Stan but not for a different man like he was for the Golden Globes. This
Right.
time he's in for The Apprentice.
Yeah,
What do you think about this one?
This was the surprise, right? Because he was in for not the role that he won the Golden Globe for,
Right.
which that was a big surprise at the Golden Globes for him winning. So maybe there's some momentum there for him in general, but I think this is Adrian Brody's to lose. I will say though that the AI thing that came out with like the Hungarian accent could hurt him a little bit. I think that was classic, like trying to knock down the favorite type of stuff.
It could be.
Like psyops type of thing. And I think that actually it might swing over to Timothy Chalamet.
Well, I could see him winning. And I saw a statistic or a fun fact or whatever you want to call it, that he's only the second actor in history to be nominated for Best Actor twice before the age of 30. It's him and James Dean, which is kind of crazy. I mean, I think he's a generational talent, to be 100% honest with you.
Yeah, of course.
And the fact that he sang all the songs as Bob Dylan and didn't just give the dialogue performance and everything, it really could. I feel like it's Adrian Brody's to lose, but the other four all have very, very, very strong talking points for why they should win.
And I think you can't discount the biopic factor, because for some reason biopics win this award all the time. All the time. It doesn't matter how great you are in a fictional role. If you play a biopic and you do it well, that like shoots you to the top of the Oscars.
Didn't Joaquin Phoenix win for Walk the Line? For this?
That sounds right.
Which was another like James Mangold musical biopic.
Yes, yeah. It's and then like Bohemian Rhapsody, he won for that. And what are the other ones that have been recent?
Oh, gosh, I don't know.
Biopics. But there's a bunch that they Theory of Everything. Eddie Redmayne won for biopic there. It's a biopic heavy category all the time.
It's very interesting. Huh. Anyone that you think should have been in there that didn't get in, or you think this one feels pretty?
I don't think
solid?
so. I mean, this seems correct to me.
Okay. Cool. Well, let's move on then to actress in a leading role. So this one we have Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Carlos Sofia Gascon for Emilia Perez, Mikey Madison for Anora, Demi Moore for The Substance, and Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here. Now, this one's an interesting category, and I think part of this has to do with the fact that the wildfires in LA delayed the voting window for Oscar stuff, and the Golden Globes happened, which I think is part of the reason why Demi Moore and Fernanda Torres are both here. And I was gonna say, if you asked me 2 months ago, this would be Mikey Madison's award to lose.
Yep.
But I feel like Demi Moore is picking up so much momentum for The Substance that she might be the front runner at this point.
I think she might actually win it. Or Fernanda Torres, which I think that one, not a lot of people have seen that movie. And so I think as people see the movie in the voting window, she might get a leg up. But I would have said the same thing with Mikey Madison as the favorite. And now it seems like Demi Moore is the favorite.
Yeah. Apparently, if Cynthia Erivo wins, that'll get her an EGOT, I think.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which is pretty interesting.
I'll root for that. I think she's a long shot, but I'll root for that just for the EGOT-ness of it.
I'm pulling for either Mikey or Demi. I think Mikey gives her all in that Anora performance. And
she's awesome.
She's incredible. And I don't know if you've seen The Substance, but man, Demi Moore
she's great.
That's a whole nother level of commentary.
I do wonder a little bit. I wonder a little bit about it is a body horror, and horror generally doesn't do very well. Like Hereditary, they didn't. What is her name? Toni Collette. Thank you. She didn't win for that, and I thought she was by far the best performance of that year.
Sure.
So maybe The Substance, being this body horror kind of off-putting type of movie, might drag it down a little bit.
Yeah,
it's not a very wide
Academy
appeal.
voters. Might hate it. Is that what
my mom saw that movie and hated it so much?
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was like, "That's the worst movie I've ever seen." And that I could see happening to a lot of voters.
I love it. That's great. All right, so let's go to directing. The nominees here for Best Director are Sean
Not
Baker.
Denis Villeneuve.
We'll get into that. I'll vent a little while. Sean Baker for Anora, Brady Corbet for The Brutalist, James Mangold for A Complete Unknown, Jacques Audiard for Emilia Perez, and Coralie Fargeau for The Substance. What are we talking about in a world where a movie like Dune 2 happens? Like, do they think that a ghost just showed up on set and directed that movie?
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough one. What's also interesting is that these are all 5 first-time Best Director nominees. So we've got no repeats. This is all fresh talent, which is pretty, I mean, good in that aspect.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I think Denis, clearly with the command he had over that film, just making the impossible happen, I think you got to throw a nomination his way. And it's weird that he didn't even get nominated at the DGAs, right? So like,
and he didn't get nominated for part 1 either.
Yeah, it's just interesting that even directors did not kind of resonate with it. And maybe this is just because the movie is so, like, it came out in March or something, right? So I think people have kind of forgotten about it. And if this had come out recently, I think, and like been the big holiday movie or something, then maybe he gets a lot more credit.
Yeah, it would have been very interesting to see, because that was originally supposed to come out in November of 23, which would have had it go up against Oppenheimer and Barbie and all those other big movies from last year. And it would have been right in that prime Oscar slot for release window, speaking. But I keep thinking maybe it's because people forgot about it, and maybe because it's pretty well known now that they're making a third one. So maybe they're going to do the Return of the King thing like they did for Peter Jackson and give Denis his flowers once Dune Messiah comes out, which
it's a huge risk because Dune Messiah is very strange and off the wall, and it's not nearly as approachable. Yeah, not nearly as approachable as Dune. So I just wonder if, like, it's one of those things. It's like the Return of the Jedi effect, where the second one is the best one, and that comes down a little bit. Yeah, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really pumped though to see Coralie in there. This is only her second major picture. She's got one other film that's called Revenge, and then there's this. Sean Baker, he did Tangerine, Florida Project, Red Rocket, and this. It's only his 4th film, and he's getting nominated for Best Director. Brady Corbet, former actor turned director, only a handful of pictures. It feels like the only person who's been in the industry a long time here is James Mangold. And for him to also be a first-time directing nominee is pretty wild. So who do you think's going to win?
I don't know.
This is a
tough one. This is a really tough one because I would have to go towards Brady for The Brutalist.
Sure.
It's just such a clear vision, I guess.
Yeah.
But I could see kind of any of them winning. Maybe Sean Baker. James Mangold is not going to win, but there is a lot of momentum behind that picture, so I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of the big 6 that is actually kind of wide open at this point, and it's not down to just really 1 or 2 nominees. So we'll see come March 2nd. All right, so last but not least, we got the big one here. 10 nominees for Best Picture, and those nominees in alphabetical order are as follows. We got Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. Anything on this list that you think should have been something else?
I was surprised that The Substance got a nomination here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that it doesn't deserve a nomination, but I was surprised to see it there.
Yeah.
I think, the replacements there would be like Sing Sing, probably. I think that's a tough omission. Really but tough, I think this is what we had talked about, where A24 was pushing The Brutalist, and they didn't have the resources to also push Sing Sing.
Yeah, they did a
And
last-ditch
so,
effort for Sing Sing.
yeah,
They
they
re-released it in
re-released in
theaters a
theaters,
week
and
or two ago, but the initial run there, they released it in, I think, either July or August.
Mm-hmm.
It barely came out in wide release. Nobody was talking about it, which is really sad because it's a really, really good movie.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I know that they gave Coleman his flowers for his performance, but everybody in that movie is what makes that film what it is. And I think it's a really special picture. I'm kind of bummed that it's not on there. I have seen 7 of these movies, so I haven't seen Complete Unknown yet. I haven't seen I'm Still Here, and I haven't seen Nickel Boys. So I have to catch those before we get to the Oscars. But out of the 7 that I've seen, if I were voting, my vote would go to Dune because that was my favorite movie of last year. But thinking realistically, it's got to be The Brutalist. I really think that's the only one that has that or Emilia Perez, just because of the momentum behind it. But yeah,
I have a somewhat hot take prediction.
Oh, here we go. Let's warm it up. Let's warm it up. Hot take.
I think I would have thought that Anora would win. And then The Brutalist came along, and then I thought The Brutalist beats Anora. But then all this AI stuff coming out, like in the voting window, makes me think that there might be a compromise pick situation. And so I think that Conclave might win.
Ooh.
Because that is, I think, the safest best picture pick that you could possibly pick.
It is very
of
safe.
Any of them.
It's
a very safe. It's a very like Oscars safe pick, Argo type of thing. I like Argo a lot. I like Conclave a lot, but it's very like inoffensive, and it kind of, is exactly what the Academy would vote for.
Yeah.
I think there's enough hate around Emilia Perez that I don't know if it'll win.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I still haven't seen it, so I don't know if it's deserved, but I will watch it and we'll review it.
Yeah.
But there's so much just like outright hatred of that movie that I don't know if it can make it across the line.
Yeah. I think that's a very easy movie to nominate, but not a very easy movie to give a lot of awards to.
Yeah, probably. And maybe that's why I got so many nominations, because it may not win a bunch, but it might be nominated a bunch.
Sure.
But it's certainly interesting to see all the momentum that movie has gotten, despite like pretty middling reviews and so much online hate. Yet it just keeps getting nominated for everything. I don't understand it. I haven't seen it, so I don't want to talk bad about the movie or anything. I'm just, given what I've seen of it and the reactions to it, I'm shocked at how many nominations it's getting.
Well, it's given us a lot of really great memes about all of the other movies trying to beat it, especially Conclave, which is really, really, really funny. So yeah, I'm leaning towards Brutalist. You're thinking maybe Conclave. I think that field is kind of open right now.
It feels like one of those situations where everyone is fighting over 2 movies, and then everyone's like, screw it, I'm just gonna pick Conclave, and then Conclave wins.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great movie, so I wouldn't.
I loved it. I loved it. Yeah.
So, all right, so we got a couple minutes left here. I know you wanted to vent a little bit about best original score, so
yes, I do.
Let's go.
I mean, come on, how do you not nominate Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross? Like, come on. That score was maybe the best of the year, and they won the Golden Globe for it. So I'm shocked. Like, there was no love for challengers at all on this entire list, and I thought it was it was my top movie of the year. And I think this is another situation where it came out so early in the year that people just forgot about it.
What was that, April when it came out?
I think so. Yeah.
Because it was right around your birthday. And
that's right.
Baby. So looking at the nominees for original score, though, they're very conventional orchestral score type things. There's The Brutalist, Conclave, Emilia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. And before you get started on it, it's not the Broadway songs from Wicked. It's all the musical stuff that actually happens in between all of that. So that's where that came from. I don't know, man. I think maybe just people didn't vibe with the whole like
it's Back to the Future
house.
I guess you weren't ready for that yet.
Yeah,
but your kids are gonna love it.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, man. I'd have had them pegged to at least get nominated, but especially because they've given Atticus Frost and Trent Reznor
Yeah.
the award before. They won for Soul. They won for Social Network, I think. Really interesting.
It's surprising. It's like not nominating John Williams for a really good score, because like they're double Oscar winners. They've been nominated countless times. It's just shocking to me.
Yeah. But, cinematography was another one that had a pretty big omission. Everyone is talking about the cinematography for Nickel Boys because it's a very
it's first person.
It's a first person point of view. It feels very, very new, very fresh, very exciting. And it didn't get any love, which is interesting. But that being said, Brutalist, Dune, Emilia Perez, Maria, and Nosferatu got a nod there. I mean, those are all very well shot movies.
It's very hard to argue with what's on there, even though Nickel Boys is not. Like, I was slightly surprised by how much love Nosferatu got in the technical categories, because we reviewed that and we said we didn't think it was going to get a lot of love from the Academy, and it didn't for picture or acting or anything like that, but like it got a lot of technicals.
Yep, it was in there for cinematography. It was in there for makeup. I think there were two others that got nominated.
Production design, I think. I could be wrong.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, production design was
production
was one
design.
Of them. And it might not walk away with the award for any of those, but still kind of cool. Robert Eggers had himself a great week. Got four Oscar nominations, a werewolf movie greenlit, and he's doing a sequel to Labyrinth. It's like totally. So
my other question to you, just before we wrap up, is we didn't talk about this category, but I think one of the low-key competitive categories here is animated feature, because I think that Flow, Inside Out, and Wild Robot are both three, either any of them could win. I think like Inside Out's gonna get the Disney bump because it always does. Like even in years where Pixar didn't really deserve the win, they win because it's Pixar. So I think Inside Out has decent odds. I really love the Wild Robot. I thought that was by far the best animated film that I've seen in a long time. But I also haven't seen Flow, and that won the Golden Globe, so I'm pretty interested to see what happens.
Yeah, and that's another example, which there have been a few of, just from the categories we've covered here, where the outcome of the Golden Globes Award has had perhaps some influence on what happens in the Oscars. So we like to turn our noses down at the Golden Globes every year, but they can sometimes be a precursor as to what we're going to get here in the Oscars. So kind of a boring nomination, though, to be honest. Like, just in general, like the nominations that came out is like nothing shocking. I guess maybe the most surprising thing is just how much love The Substance got because of the type of movie it is. But aside from that, it kind of shook out, I think, the way that we all thought it was going to.
Yep.
Cool. Any other final thoughts before we wrap this one up?
Nope, that's all I got. Let's finish up on the movies we haven't seen by the time March turns around, and we'll do some Oscar reactions here.
Yeah, let's do a recount and get Denis Villeneuve nominated for Dune for Best Director. So that's going to wrap things up for this video. We'd love to hear from you guys. Drop us a comment below. Let us know your thoughts on the nominations so far. Who you think should have got in, who shouldn't have got in, what surprises, and who do you think is going to win some of these categories? We'd love to hear from you. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click that notification bell so that way you get notified for all of our future videos. Take a look back. We reviewed season 2 of Silo earlier this week, and that's a really popular show that a lot of people are talking about. And we're also doing weekly reviews of every episode of Severance. So make sure to be on the lookout for that and so much more. Until next time, we'll see you guys in the next video.